So Velma is the gift that keeps on giving. That we pretty much know, right? But also the fact is CBR.com is also the gift that keeps on giving. And now when you combine both avenues, CBR.com and Velma, you get the ultimate gift that keeps on giving. I mean, I have literally 3 articles for you guys to go over the next couple of videos from CBR.com, ultimately shilling for Velma. It is hilarious to see some of the ways that they try to spin the failure of this show. They try to spin it in the best light that they possibly can because they know they can't have this show fail. CBR.com is one of those websites that absolutely shills for stuff like this, and they don't want to let it fail. They can't. It's impossible. They have to make this succeed any which way they can. And they came out with an article recently that it just had me dying when I saw the headline. So we're gonna get into the article, guys. This one, as I said, comes from good old CBR.com, and it says Velma's terrible reviews may just end up saving the show. Yes, that is that is a real headline, guys. That is a real headline from CBR.com regarding Velma. This is not a joke. This is 100% real. So before we get into this article, guys, just a quick reminder. If you are watching this video, that means it is Tuesday, February 7th. I will be doing a live stream for Hogwarts Legacy. It's going to be a big one, guys. Do not miss it. It's going to be at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, not 12, because I can't preload the game on PC until 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I need some time to download the game and get it ready for live stream. But I'm going to start going live around 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so please don't miss it. If you want to support the channel, definitely come check it out. We would greatly appreciate it. Now, it says, Velma has received some of the worst reviews from audiences of any show. Surprisingly, this seems to only have helped the show's popularity. Now, I don't know if they understand exactly what the word popular means, right? So like you have popular and then you have infamous, right? So infamous could be more known than something that's popular, but it doesn't necessarily mean that that's a good thing, right? So like the popularity doesn't equate to something good. But let's see what they have to say and how they're going to spin it. I can't wait to see this. It says HBO's Velma is not the greatest show, but is it as bad as reviews would suggest? Velma's rating on IMDb is 1.3 out of 10 and its Rotten Tomatoes audience score is 6%. This means the show is rated lower than legendarily bad movies like The Room or Troll 2. This could lead some people to believe that Velma must be one of the worst shows ever made, but in truth, it's kind of just mediocre. That being said, viewers haven't exactly rushed to correct the hyperbolic negative response because the show isn't good enough to inspire a strong defense of it. However, the extremely low ratings may actually end up being the best thing for Velma. Now, the funny thing is, I like how these people who write this article, they like to try to come out and pretend like they're on both sides, right? So they call the show mediocre, right? Which, I mean, that's just terrible for the show as it is. But you call the show mediocre, and in the same breath, you want to say it's the best thing that could have happened to the show. And I know what you're going to say before you even go into the article. I know they're going to talk about how you're going to have a bunch of people who hate watching it, who wouldn't have normally watched it. They're going to watch it because they hear how bad it is. It's like watching a train wreck, right? You're not going to want to miss what happens, even though you know it's going to be terrible. It's that kind of a thing. And like I say all the time, with hate watching, I don't mind being the one who hate watches the show, because by doing so, I prevent thousands of other people from watching it. They watch it through me, or they watch it through other YouTubers that they enjoy. They are able to watch it, and their curiosity is satiated through the YouTubers and not through paying HBO Max. So I consider that to be a win personally. So if the argument for hate watching doesn't really have any water. It says, hearing that the show is average, boring, or just kind of bad is probably the worst thing that can happen to its viewership. On the other hand, when people see reviews claiming Velma's the worst show ever made, that creates a level of morbid curiosity. Audiences will likely be inspired to see for themselves if Velma's really as bad as the reviews say. There's also plenty of viewers who intentionally seek out bad shows and movies to mock and laugh at with friends. Well, that's called YouTubers. YouTubers do exactly that. If left alone, Velma will likely have faded into obscurity, but the large amount of negative attention may have given it new life. It's not about giving it new life. You guys don't understand. Like, it's about the fact that shows like Velma help YouTubers garner an audience. It helps YouTubers garner an audience of like-minded individuals who want to come watch their content. And everybody it's kind of like hanging out with friends and just shitting on a bad show. That's basically what this is. And a lot of YouTubers are enjoying the benefits of it, myself included. I'm not going to lie. Velma has been very good for my channel, and it continues to do so. And I enjoy dunking on the show because with or without the subscribers coming in, I would have done so anyway. That's just how I personally feel. The subscribers are an added benefit, of course, but it wouldn't have been the only reason why I did it. I would have just did it for fun because the show deserves to get dunked on. It says, despite the negative reviews, Velma's viewership is much higher than other shows. That's a lie. If they're going to mention the 127% number, that is a lie. It's been proven to be a lie. While some of this popularity can likely be chalked up to the show's connection to the popular Scooby-Doo brand, it seems likely that it is in part due to the amount of attention being paid to the show online. Though Velma's IMDb user ratings are very low, it is second most popular show on the site, only losing out to HBO's hit series The Last of Us. There are also plenty of YouTube videos talking about the series. They're not positive. What does it matter if the YouTube videos are talking about the series? That doesn't make it popular. It makes it infamous. There's a difference. Even if many of these videos fall into the same category as the exaggeratedly bad reviews, of course CBR, they're exaggerated. Of course they are. There's no way all those bad reviews can be true. Yep, no way. They still contribute to Velma trending online. If Velma continues to receive so much attention, it will only continue to find a wider audience as more people's curiosity is piqued by its cultural relevance. If it continues to trend online, more content creators and websites will also be inspired to give their own takes on the show, perpetuating the show's popularity. Had Velma been given more realistically negative reviews instead of being touted as the worst show ever, it probably wouldn't have become such an online trend. I don't think who is this person? I mean, who was the writer on this? Sean McGala? Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Like, you don't realize that there is a big difference, Sean, between popularity and infamy, okay? This show is infamous, all right? This show is not popular. People aren't talking about this show because they like it. People aren't talking about this show because it's the greatest thing ever. People are talking about the show because this is one of the worst animated shows that they've ever seen. It is an infamous show. It is unpopular. It is hated. And just because it's talked about doesn't mean it's popular. You got to choose your words properly. I'm sure you know a lot of words in the English language, so I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt. But this show is infamous. It is a bad show, and it is only known because it's a bad show. And you really think people are going to go out there and spend the money on HBO Max just to watch this show? No. They're going to go give a YouTuber the view. They're gonna go give a blogger the view, or the blogger the read. Like they're gonna go out and read reviews on it from critics or from audiences. They're gonna go and do that. They're not gonna go and spend money to get their curiosity piqued. Nobody's gonna subscribe for an entire month to a service just to see whether or not a show is bad. They're going to go watch it with a YouTuber. I will guarantee you 9 times out of 10, that's going to be the case. So then it says, Velma is far from the worst show ever made, but it also isn't very good. Many of its jokes fall flat or don't feel very creative. For example, I agree with you there. For example, Norville proclaiming that he doesn't like drugs almost feels like the writers were too busy patting themselves on the back for not leading into the easiest Shaggy joke that they forgot to write a replacement. Watching this show divorced from the online hype, audiences will likely find that Velma inspires no strong feelings one way or the other. No, I'm pretty sure, man, that the feelings are inspired towards the negative side very strongly. The only real aspect of Velma that makes it stand out from the competition is the intense backlash to the show online. Thanks to the people who hate the show the most, Velma has become a trendy conversation piece instead of simply a lackluster adult animated show. Well, it still is that. There's also a chance that some viewers who check out Velma due to the hate stick around when they realize it isn't as bad as it's meant to be. That's very few people. That is very, very few people, man. You know that's true. Viewers' rock bottom expectations may actually make the show better in contrast. This combined with the inflated viewership may actually mean that Velma's status as one of the worst reviewed shows could actually be the only thing that gives the show the viewership it needs to survive. Let me be real with you, okay? I'm going to be very, very straightforward with this. Now, simply put, Velma, you're talking about Velma having an increased viewership. Where's your proof, okay? This 127% increased popularity number that they're throwing around had nothing to do with viewership and had everything to do with social media clicks, social media engagement, Google searches, all that stuff. It had very little to do with views, but they used that number because they made them look good. And Velma is the only show so far between The Last of Us and Velma that has not released their viewership numbers. The Last of Us released their viewership numbers after the first episode. Why hasn't Velma done it after 8? Explain that to me. There's a reason why they haven't done it, and that's because if they do, they know they can't lie about it. So the only way we're going to find out about it is from the Nielsen ratings, where we're going to get an idea of exactly just how much Velma bombed. But at the end of the day, Velma's not doing good. We know it's not doing good, and you trying to spin it as if this is the best thing for the show and it somehow made it popular because you don't know what the word infamous means, that goes to tell me that you are trying to shill for this, but at the same time, you're trying to play fence sitter by throwing little quips here and there about the show being terrible. So nobody believes you, man. Honestly, you write for CBR.com, so I'm not going to believe you when it comes to this show. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you did enjoy, and if you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.